Pelicans fall at home 123-105 to the Atlanta Hawks. Let's talk about it.
First took away. Yes, for this. Get your money's worth out.
Podcast sponsored by the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk, located at 918 Poydras Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413 if you or someone you know has been involved in an accident. Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk. Chaz 5 and Lido on a late Saturday night. LSU just got their ass kicked. Pelicans get their ass kicked, but let's start off with this. 5, you were in the building tonight, and there's a clip now circulating on social media about Zion Williamson. David Grubb had asked him a question regarding him being him missing last whatever the game was a couple of days ago. Did it affect his performance tonight? And he didn't have an answer for it. Looked really frustrated. What did you see?
I mean, you can see it in the video. He's upset. It seems like he's trying to not, do something outrageous, right? Or say something that's clickbaitish, or you're just trying to push it off to the side. No comment. You really don't even see, as Zion has been, you haven't really seen him he's been short, right, with the media, but he's never really said no comment. And this is probably one of the first times using I ain't answering that. Because he's frustrated. You can tell he's frustrated about how things are. He wants to play, but things aren't going smooth as they should be, or as smooth as they should be. And part of that's probably on him too, though. So it's not just necessarily just the offense or the team. It's him being involved in that and doing the things that need to be done to win basketball games.
And Chaz, we before we got on, we were just talking about that clip from Stan Van Gundy, whatever it was, a couple of years ago, about how and you've said it multiple times too, is to keep him in shape, he has to play as much as possible. And I feel like we give him these off days, these rest days, and he comes back and it seems like he's just, he's just not in a good rhythm. I don't know if he's technically in shape. What are you seeing with that? I feel like the more basketball Zion plays, the better.
Before the season started, I did a little research on Zion, prior to the Duke days. I remember reading over one summer, Zion gained 50 pounds, something crazy just in one summer. And we all laughed when David Griffin said, the guy was lifting weights and he gained 10 pounds of muscle or something crazy like that, right? This is clearly a guy who needs as much cardio as possible, be it muscle mass, be it water intake, or what have you. Zion is a guy who needs as much running up and down the court as possible. To his credit, I feel like he's in better basketball shape right now. He looks better from a basketball standpoint than I saw last season to start the season. But physically, I don't know when he was cleared this offseason, but he didn't come into camp looking like a guy who played a lot of basketball this offseason. So to 5's point, Zion, you're frustrated. I understand it. But at the same time, did you do everything to put yourself in the best position to have a debate about playing a back-to-back game? Not that you would have won the debate.
Right.
But to even say, nah, I'm good. Look at me. I can play. You probably couldn't play, or you probably could play, but is it worth the risk at this stage in your career, given your history, the shape you came into camp? I don't know when he was cleared. Probably never gonna find out with this team. He could have gotten cleared in July. We have no idea. But he didn't come into camp looking like a dude who was gonna be playing no back-to-backs to start the season.
Lito, go ahead.
It's dope to hear a guy want to play. It's dope to him frustrated because he wanted to play. You know what I'm saying? It's usually the opposite. But yeah, I agree with 5, man, Chaz. As far as did you do everything in your power to make sure that you were 100% and could play back-to-backs, and there would be no this wouldn't be a thing between you and the organization where they feel like they had to protect you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he I get that he was frustrated with that, but at the same time, like I was frustrated with his defense tonight. So we kind of feel like, we feel the same way about the situation. Like he was terrible defensively. Like he was very, very lazy. And I can't even really celebrate. I can't even really celebrate the windmill like I want to celebrate it because you just didn't you ain't get back really.
Right. And once again, I saw him a couple times tonight with the referees and worrying about, him not getting a call. And like, that's just like, that to me is very, very frustrating. Ross, I don't know if you've seen the social media clip going around. I know Chad said in the group chat, but Zion clearly frustrated about not playing. What are your thoughts on that?
We have been very vocal in this group about saying the team has to this year lean into Zion, right? I mean, Chaz, call me crazy. Who's the star of this team? How many times have you tweeted, we got one star on this team?
Yeah.
How many times? How
Count
many stars we got?
one.
We got one. How many other teams in this league tell their star, no? No. Do you want to play today? No. Especially when that star is, how Zion, 23, 24?
Yeah, 23.
We ain't won shit either. Nothing. We ain't won a goddamn thing.
Nothing.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. You know what? And I'm not a Zion apologist. I've been hard on him. I think he has not done everything he can in his own power to keep himself healthy. I don't think he's done a great job of being prepared or being available. And I'm talking about younger. I'm not talking about this year. I'm giving him a clean slate, okay? He's a young guy that had a lot to learn. He's learned lessons. I think he's matured to a certain level. Do I think he's in the best shape possible? Hell no. Hell no. But we can all go back, right? Go listen to that Stan Van Gundy clip when Zion got drafted, when he said, hey, I called Coach K when we drafted him. I called him. And what did Coach K tell him? Did you guys remember? What's the best thing?
That's what we just brought. Yeah, we just.
I'm sorry that I was late to get there and I missed it. That man needs to play basketball. That's the best way. He's not a guy that when he's on his own is gonna. He clearly at this point, he's been here 5 years, whatever, 4 years. He's not a guy on his own that has demonstrated the ability to keep himself in peak, physical. I'm ready to go play, 48-minute basketball. He has to play. If he's healthy, play him. If he wants to play him. What are we doing holding a guy back that's 23 years old? What the hell are we doing? This seems to me crazy. I don't care. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chaz. Go ahead, Chaz.
No, I want to add on to Ross's point. Also, though, when the physical therapist, when I saw an interview with her, and I was like, yo, this is promising for Zion.
Yep.
This is terrifying for Brandon, right? Not to put Brandon in this because this is a Zion issue. But all that, don't sacrifice the promise by repeating past mistakes. You're seeing a lot of stuff you saw already from the Aaron Nelson, Nelly might be smiling somewhere because, shout out to him. But you're seeing a lot of the same mistakes you repeated now. Like you got a guy like Jose, been out since last season. I don't count this as a new injury. He's been out since last season, if you ask me. Trey seems to be progressing well. Najee's out right now. CJ, he's playing through something. JV got to be aching playing through something. Hawkins out there with a thumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just let these dudes play. Let them play. Leave it up to them. If you want them to be mature, you want your kids to fly high, you got to push them out the nest. You know what I'm saying? Push him out the nest a little bit. Let him do his thing at this point. You ain't got nothing to lose at this point because if it don't work, it's over anyway. So just let him play.
And don't give me and I'm sorry, Justin. Don't give me the story about how we got a young team. Then don't give it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Then
not young.
If you're gonna hold out guys that are 25, 23, 26, how old's Brandon? Don't give me the whole story about this is a young developing team. No, we're not a young developing team. Treat us how we deserve to be treated. You want to win games? Go out and try to win games. That's how I feel about stuff.
Okay. Jarrett, let's actually talk about the game because we in the offseason talked about, and Willie Green's talked about in training camp, that rebounding would be a focal point. And again tonight, they got out rebounded 19-9 on the offensive glass. Offensive rebound, second chance points, 19-9. Now, we already know going into the game, 3-point discrepancy is going to be a problem. But when you get out rebounded like that you're not going to win at any level. And tonight it was the same problem. The second half, that thing just went south. And that's been a problem. What are you seeing from that?
I mean, I'm saying what you're seeing. You see a team that can't rebound the ball. That's been a problem for years at this point. And Willie Green brought it up in training camp. And my thought was, how do you fix a problem like that in 2 weeks? Like, how can you fix I thought it's like I said last year when they went through like the 10-game losing streak, like that would be the only thing they could get better at. Because the shooting just wasn't, it just wasn't gonna happen. Like you just wasn't gonna get better shooting unless you just had a really great summer or just a really great stretch of shooting. But rebounding was the only tangible thing that you could do in season to get better at. And that was last January. Now we're in November having the same conversations about rebounding. It's a want, bro. When you watch a kid like Jordan Hawkins go after a board that's 6'5", right? Sneaky athletic, but like the tenacity that he uses to go after a rebound should be the same tenacity you would see a Zion Williamson go after a board, a Brandon Ingram. You know how many offensive boards Brandon Ingram gave up tonight? Like we're not like this is the issue. Your stars aren't doing it. How do you expect the other guys to follow them if they don't do it?
And I'm trying to get we kind of joke that Jordan Hawkins is like second in the game and rebounding and maybe sometimes leading the team.
That's
like,
not a joke.
It's not a joke. Like it's like the dude, but to your point, 5, he wants it. Rebounding is all about angles and wanting it. You don't have to be athletic. You don't have to be quick. You don't have to be like, you got to understand angles and you got to want it. And I don't see a lot of people wanting it. And this also goes to Herb Jones and also like Trey Murphy's in this like category as well. Like this isn't just like a brand, like it's a team identity problem that these guys don't want. Like rebounding is not a priority. And I get it, Borrego wants to get out and quick and all that stuff, but you got to fucking rebound the basketball first in order to go the other way.
That's the point right there, right? Is what do y'all think the little things are, right? What are the things that you value as a basketball team? Because clearly you say defense is a priority, right? You have proof in the pudding that defense is a priority. I get it. But how do you close out defensive possessions? By getting the rebounds.
It's only one way.
You can't play fast without the fucking ball. Like how
you can play fast when you get the ball. When the other team scores, you go play fast for sure. You can do that.
But my issue is like, how can you score if you don't have the ball?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's the misconception of it all. Like, yeah, you can play great defense. You can have these ratings, but it means nothing if you don't have the damn ball.
Jordan Hawkins once again. I'm gonna get to lead on in a second. Jordan Hawkins once again had the same amount of rebounds as Zion Williamson. 5. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive. Like every single game, Jordan Hawkins has had 5 or more rebounds every single game. And Lido, let's get to JV.
Nah. I want to talk rebounding. Nah. I want to fucking talk rebounding. I'm with 5. I got smoked for the whole starting 5. That shit sucked, dog. There's no way. Is no fucking way. 53 to 35, man.
24 points up. Second chance points for that team.
Bro, what are we doing? Hey, listen, I don't care. You could be frustrated in your press conferences. You can be upset that you didn't play. You played tonight and you gave a mediocre ass effort. Bro, you the most athletic guy probably on the planet. You can't have 5 rebounds. I could go out there and get 5 rebounds. I can't jump over a sheet of paper right now. There's no way you and Jordan Hawkins supposed to have the same amount of rebounds. There's no way you and Dyson Daniels supposed to have the same amount of rebounds. Shout out to Dyson, man. Dyson be out there rebounding his ass off. Shout out to Hawk, man. I got smoke for Herb Jones, man. Herb, dog. Listen, dog. Listen. You gave great defensive effort in this first half. You were incredible. You low key turned the whole tide of the first half. They squandered a great defensive showing on your part, but dog, 2 rebounds ain't gonna do it, my brother. It cannot be done like this. I get you guarding guys on the perimeter, son. Snake your way back into the lane and get a rebound, son. Turn. All guys gotta do is turn around, bro. You guarding somebody, just turn around, box them out. I understand that's old school. It's not effective. We don't do that no more, dog. No, CJ, 1 rebound. Nah, dog. Come on, bro. I get it. And CJ is normally a 4 to 5 rebound guy. Like I understand that. I don't exactly know what happened tonight. Brandon had 7. Jonas had 7. Jonas sucked tonight. If that's what you're about to ask me, Jonas was terrible. Jonas did not. He did not. I don't know. He was like a negative. He was a minus like 21 or something. It was something crazy.
Minus 20. Herb Jones minus 26. I was gonna say though, because 5 had a
can-
really good
can I
question.
go-
Okay. You know what? I'll just y'all got it. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, because I want to jump into. I want to jump into because Lito just started it, and I feel like I want to jump into I've been a big Herb Jones guy about his effort and what it means to what we're trying to do on a nightly basis, right? In terms of defensive effort, moving on the offensive end, sometimes when things get stagnant, covering up other people's mistakes on defense, all of that great stuff he does defensively. I played enough basketball in my life. Rebounding is effort. Lito just said it. That there is no excuse, right? You can't play 33 minutes and get 2 rebounds. You cannot. It can't happen. It just cannot happen. Simple as that. I don't care who you're guarding. I don't care who you're chasing around on the perimeter. It just doesn't matter.
Do you think it's maybe an identity thing? Like, do you think like no? I'm saying like I'm just because Herb does all the things, right?
Yeah,
like, why would Herb not go rebound?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's not a. I don't think it's a Herb thing. I'm not sitting here saying Herb, not good enough. It's a whole team. You're right. It is a team identity thing in the sense that I'm not sure it's been a focus. Look at you guys 5. Justin, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, you guys are at practice way more than I am. You guys are around the team way more than I am. I'm an observer watching the games and giving you my feedback. When I watch games, to me, this is my opinion. If JV ain't cleaning the glass, we're gonna lose a rebounding battle. It's a lot of guys looking at JV, and if Valanciunas isn't cleaning the glass, it's going to be sketchy. It would be interesting for me to go look at how many times Valanciunas hasn't gotten a double-double or how many times JV hasn't led the team in rebounding and we've lost that game.
Yep.
And I might be wrong. Maybe the data will say I'm an idiot. But watching games night in and night out, that's what it looks like to me. A lot of dudes saying, we got a dude in there that's going to get it. He's going to get the rebound. And we get long rebounds and things happen or whatever. But there's not an identity. I mean, it's one of those things you think about. I mean, I was a guy that again, I go back to that last one. Chris gave me a hard time about how I just don't give guys credit or I don't like players or whatever. And I was always the person that said, Josh Hart, his shit was replaceable for me because I just don't know how good he is at basketball in terms of affecting, what we're trying to do on the offensive and defensive end. He's just a guy that hustles. But this is the shit where hustle matters, right? Like, can you replace Josh Hart shooting? Hell yeah. Can you replace his on-ball defense? Hell yeah. Can you replace some of the other shit? Hell yeah. But when the ball goes up, he turns around and fucking sprints to the backboard. Okay? And that's the one thing. It can lose you a game. And it can lose you momentum. And that's the frustrating thing that maybe I don't give guys enough credit for, those type of guys. And I don't know how many of those type of guys we have on the roster right now. I don't know how many of those guys that just say, that little thing, right? Herb is a guy that defensively, he'll do the little things. But rebounding is a team deal, man. You got to box out. You got to fight. And it seems like the games that we lose, we don't necessarily do that. We don't win that battle.
That's ironic, the fight part. But, I said this before the game. And I don't know if y'all can see this, but yeah, you probably can't see it. But I said the game is going to be difficult to watch tonight, not because of Bally's or because of the glow-in-the-dark court, right? Soon as this to me, this is not only is it not being made enough of a point of emphasis, I also think this is a talent issue. And this is why I say that. Too often, to Zion's point, I don't think it's a talent issue. I think it is an effort issue. And I think it's a technique issue. Because I want to say it was the OKC game. I'm seeing Zion box out. The man is sealed. The ball's right here. Just grab the ball. Just grab the fucking ball. Like, you did 50% of the work. All you got to do is grab it. Don't wait for someone else. Like Larry does that too sometimes. Well, he'll box out. He'll wait for the wing or the guard to crash and grab the basketball. It's like, no, bro, just presume no one else is going to do it. I think another reason why you saw a huge lapse in defensive rebounding tonight is because Jordan Hawkins wasn't in the starting lineup tonight. So that's a guy who crashes the boards ferociously. Like, he's a monster on the boards. My issue mainly with the rebound is Herb and Brandon, because Brandon not only gives up offensive rebounds, he gets stripped for offensive rebounds more than probably anyone I've ever seen. Like he has the ball. They're just taking it from him. Herb, I rarely even see Herb near the paint. Like when the ball's being deflected or falls, comes off the glass or what have you. I just never really see some players on this team in the action. I think Zion gambles too much for those breakaway steals. He spoke about that going into this season. It's like, bro, you're not where you need to be athletically right now to keep asking for that. I understand, but stop doing that.
And to be honest,
hey Justin, I want to ask.
I just want to say, hold on. I want to say 1 second. Okay, what?
Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
No, Justin.
I was going to say, but I was going to say,
you're a coach.
Okay,
you're a coach. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pose you a question, right? You do a good job point guard for all of us, and I hate to cut you off. I mean, even at the high school level, right? You guys are a state championship level team. You guys play college players all the time. What do you teach in terms of rebounding? What do you guys? I mean, you are playing guys that play in college. You are playing 4-out teams. You are playing teams that want to spread it out. Like what's the issue here? Talk to explain this to me more.
It starts in practice, and it's an accountability thing. Like if you're not willing to box out, if you're not willing to go rebound, you don't play. It's that simple. So if you're not going to go rebound, you're not going to play. I just said it. You don't have to be talented to go rebound. You just like Josh Hart. He's one of the best rebounders in the league. He's undersized because he wants to go get it. As Jarrett said, you want to go get it. Like, I don't see enough of that as a collective group to go get the rebound. And that's why I was going to lead it to my next point, Bob, before I cut you off. Like, to me, it's like an accountability thing. Like, how many times we got to see Zion get back on defense? Like, cut the shit. Like, get back on defense. Stop worrying about the ref. But I don't really see much of that. And that's from
Willie Green?
From Will, yeah, and the staff. Like, I need to see a little bit more of accountability. Like, I'm trying to do these stats right now. They've been out rebounded 4 out of 6 times, and not only out rebounded, they've been out rebounded by double digits every single night.
Yeah,
every single night. Like it's not like 35, 34 or like 40 to 32. It's like 56 to like 31.
Even in the wins, it's a trend.
Yeah, it's a thing. So 5, go ahead.
I mean, what else am I going to say? At this point, it's a system issue, right? Like, and they don't have the leadership installed to correct guys. To be honest, like they don't have like guys to say, hey, we're not doing this correctly and we need to change it. It's, we'll get it here, like win so I can be there. Let me know. Like there's no time of we're not crashing boards. You hear it in the interview. Okay, yeah, we got out rebounded. Like we know this. We're asking about it. Like, what are you guys doing to necessarily changing this problem? Because it's consistent. It is a problem, right? And we don't see like you don't even see like the gradual change to it, right? Like, all right, you gave up 20 offensive rebounds tonight, right? That's alarming. Like, is there an incremental change to say, all right, next game let's try to keep it to 15. The game after that, let's try to get it to 10. I think we don't even see those processes.
And I'm just looking it up, Jared. They gave up 19 offensive rebounds to the fucking Pistons, and guess what? We didn't talk about it because they won. So like, so it's for people who are like, oh, they're 4-2, and like y'all are being just like over dramatic. No, this is a problem. It's a problem that needs to be addressed. Go ahead, Leo. Or whoever.
I just wanted to add on that. I just wanted to add on a Five's point. Basically, not just Five, but Ross and Chaz and what you just said. I don't want people to think that we're harping on this game in particular.
No.
Like, not even talking about this game. Like 4-2 is great. I'm not even mad at that. I think if you've been listening to these pods, or the shows with us, not even this year, like going back to last year, we've been talking about the rebounding being an issue for this team since last year. Like, so this is not some new phenomena that we're just discovering. You know what I'm saying? It's an effort thing, dog. It's all about will. Usually maybe the best player on your team is not the best rebounder. It's usually the less talented guys. They pitch in and they do the thing. But if I'm looking at the stat sheet correctly, the less talented guys had been doing that. Matt had been doing that. Jordan had been doing that. Dyson does that. And I'm not calling them less talented, but I'm saying they're not stars, right? I feel like if Brandon and Zion are upset about the number of shots that they take per game or the number of shots that they get, I have a simple solution for them. It's real easy.
Go rebound the basketball.
Yeah, don't pass that motherfucker.
Rebound that bitch. Hey, we can extend possessions. We can extend possessions, or we can double the time of possession because we'll have more rebounds. Like it's a simple fix.
The Pelicans on the season are getting out rebounded 333 to 239. Close to 100.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Rebound difference. Go ahead, Chaz.
Do we know the defensive rebounding philosophy? I understand it was always Zion leak out. Do we know who's supposed to crash?
That's the will.
I was about to ask that question, Five.
And that changes.
Justin, you guys
game
have
to game.
you guys
It
been in
changes from
practice
game
a
to
lot.
Oh, it changed from game to game. Okay.
Like a game plan. Like
Good
go
question,
ahead,
Chad.
See, you remember when Nicholas Cage was on Gone in 60 Seconds, and he was just fucking like, this is how I fucking feel. There is no philosophy. There is none. You can't tell me there is one. You can't prove it. There's no data behind it. There's nothing you can say that this is what we do. And I hate leaking out. One, you know why? Because we're not even good at passing the ball up the court to get Zion an easy bucket. So there's no fucking reason to do it. I remember last year when Trey was healthy, right? He would leak out a lot. And I understood why he did that because he wouldn't touch the ball.
Right.
In the flow of the offense. So for him to score, he would have to leak out. Understood. I hope he don't do that shit now. Because you can't get we don't get the ball enough. There's
Five. Can I ask you? I just want to butt in there because we have all been super complimentary of some of the coaching changes, right? Yeah. And some of the philosophical and to be fair, most of the been offensively and we scored whatever we did tonight. Is there any correlation? I mean, or are we just saying because like we've all acknowledged like, hey, shit looks better offensively. Is this more of the same, or is this a big picture thing, or is this like a personnel thing? I guess I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just saying, because we've been complimentary of some of the coaching changes, right? I mean,
yeah. Listen, I think this kind of goes back to the game the other night, right? The team ended up being 4-1, right? We did not sound like the team was 4-1.
Yeah,
we did not sound, and I think that is one because we know that there is a larger issue. Like those games that they won, cool, you won them, but you still have problems. And the issue is like you don't have a leader. You don't have a leader because I think Willie Green's saying the right things. Like he knows rebounding is an issue. Like he's repeatedly said it, but there's only he can't go out there and be like, hey, let me get the jersey off you and let me go rebound the ball. The person on the court has to say.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that's why I always say the best teams are led by players, not coaches. Because that kind of shit right there would not fly. Chaz, you can go ahead.
I want to add this too. I think, especially for the first 5 games, I think we've had the benefit of schedule and being able to kind of out-talent people in the end versus, look, I just got to say it. I'll be the bad guy. This starting unit is shitty. It's shitty. We knew it was going to be shitty. It was shitty last season. It's shit. It is shitty.
What
And,
starting unit are you referring? Can you, like list of
CJ,
players?
Oh, I'm sorry. CJ, BI, Brandon, Jonas, and Herb. Now Trey would have helped improve this quite a bit, significantly. But some issues you would still have. With a game like tonight, that's why offensive rebounds are so important. The Pelicans don't have the advantage in that starting unit to consistently lose math battles because don't shoot enough threes. You don't get to the free throw line enough. You don't turn offenses over enough to get fast break opportunities. You don't get enough 50-50 balls to create easy transition points. You play too slow in the half court. It's too crowded. That two-man game you see, like that I think we all love between Zion and JV. Can't see this shit no more. You can't do that. Can't do that. Why? It's Brandon right here. Or Herb can't shoot. No, it's just there's two. Like I keep saying that I'm starting to like coin this expression. I'm viewing things as things you can correct and things that aren't correctable. Right? This offensive line, this offense of 5 players, starting 5, they're never going to shoot and make more threes. They're not going to be, a lot more efficient with the basketball for us turning the ball over. They're not awesome individual defenders. I think to their credit, they're getting better. Zion needs to get a lot better. And they're not going to rebound the ball effectively. Now, what changed between some of the shit they was doing well prior to tonight and tonight? What's different?
Chaz, can I? And this goes to everyone. I'm sorry, 5. I don't want to go. I know you got something. He just mentioned something, and it really hammered home one of the stats I looked at before we got on the thing. We're 4-2, right? The worst 2 3-point shooting games we've had. Golden State and Atlanta, we shot 26% from deep in both. I mean, are we fussing about nothing? Are we fussing about nothing, or are we fussing about?
It's a problem. It's a real problem.
Something. Is this a problem, or is this a? Go forward to every game. Next thing you know, you're 8-4. Next thing you know, you're 16-8. Next thing you know, you're 32. That's a question for all of you. But that's just the number I'm telling you. We've had 2 bad shooting games. I mean. I won't say
Oklahoma City won fucking like we lit it up.
I won't say 2 bad shooting games. I will say the 2 worst shooting games we've had. They were both the same number, 26% from 3-point percentage, and we lost both, Golden State and tonight. So that's just something I throw to y'all. I mean, is this just normal course of business or something we all need a red flag?
I mean, it's been a red flag, Ross. We didn't need 6 games this season to let us know that this team can't shoot. Like we know that. But I think to Chaz's point, that's what I wanted to bring up. The math problem, right? Like that starting unit isn't going to outshoot you. So what's the advantage that you have with that starting 5? It's playing inside out. You don't do that enough. And also, you don't even win that battle. Why? Because let's say you won it tonight. I think it's like points in the paint was 58 Pels, 54 Atlanta. Like you only won that by 4 points. But they beat you in the second half on 3-pointers.
And they're a super undersized team that we
and 5 and I'm not going to cut you off. I want you to keep going.
You did it.
A lot of those. And I'm sorry, but because I've done a lot of little data digging on this stuff over the first 6 games. If you take out some of those just bullshit Zion putbacks, where you get a bucket and a rebound, take out some of those, right? Where he goes up and it's just him, right? And he's going to win that second jump. Take those out of go watch those first 6 games and take those out of the data and see what it looks like. It's horrific. It's horrific.
It's horrific, and also like, what's the point of playing Jonas if you're not gonna play through him? That is my biggest thing. If they're gonna have Trae Young, this is the thing. I'm glad you brought up Atlanta and Golden State. 2 guys, they have 2 primary guards: Chris Paul, Steph Curry, DeJounte Murray, Trae Young. They're gonna play high pick and roll, and pick on Jonas. That's what you know.
Right.
But you don't use him on the other end against a guy like Clint Capella to engage and try to get to the line or get him in foul trouble to get him off the court. That way you would have the advantage, but you don't do that. I don't understand the logic. That's the issue. There's
And five.
nothing. Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. You motherfuckers just keep doing it. This is white privilege all over again. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna
Go ahead.
say, I was gonna shout
they
you
own
out.
it. Yeah.
I was legitimately gonna shout you out, say that you had the best question, one of the best questions of the night. You asked Zion, "Hey, why don't we get the ball into JV?" Or like, what would you? And Zion's response was, "We need to get the ball into JV." Well, tonight he had 6 shot attempts. He had 6 shot attempts tonight. I know JV wasn't great, but he had 6.
No. But that's the thing. If you get JV involved, the other shit takes care of itself.
Exactly.
Rebound a little bit more. Give the dog a
Right.
fucking bone. Like
Right.
you have to do that. You have to.
You know why? You want to know why? You want to know why? You want to know why? Because Brandon is here. This is why. We all know why. Because again, look at the last 2 games. I didn't know who Jonas was. Jonas was like a fucking animal out there, blocking shots, talking shit, bumping people. There's a dog, my monster. Brandon come back.
Listen, he looked thoroughly happy post what was that?
Detroit?
What game was that? Detroit. Like just because he was able to impact the basketball game. Well, did he score a lot? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
There was enough shots to go around. I don't really think that was the thing that got him going.
No.
Just being able to be involved.
Assist, passing from the post, like all that
probably
shit.
him and Matt Ryan's 2-man game, but yet then there's a screen from CJ and he dumps it off for a layup. I had never seen that from a Pelicans team in 5 years.
The man said he loves playing team basketball.
Emphasize it.
Yeah, he emphasized it. Now, here's the fucking issue. And we all know that JV was extremely frustrated last season behind the scenes. But here's the issue. JV is useless when this team is healthy, right? They're not going to utilize them. They're going to look for ways not to utilize them, right? Problem is, motherfucking team never really healthy. So do you sacrifice a scoring big in JV, probably one top 5, top 6 scoring big?
Second rebound. My fault.
Yeah, and rebounder, dog, right? Adequate defensively when he's involved. Adequate. You know what I'm saying? Not great. Adequate. Or do you lean into, if let's say you get a big who can't score, you still not gonna have no fucking space in the paint. You still gonna have a shitty, clunky offense. You're not really correcting anything. All the problems point back to the same exact person. This is ridiculous. Like this is it's crazy.
This is my argument the whole summer, the whole trade JV campaign, right? Listen, if you can find a better center, more cost-effective guy who can produce equally as effective as Jonas, no doubt, move on, find your guy. But dog, you go bring Jared Allen in here, you gonna bring Robert Williams in here, and you're gonna expect, bro, if you hate JV, just wait. Robert Williams get the ball on the post.
No. You would have to get Porzingis.
That's a hell of a point. God,
the only person you could get, bro, is like fucking Porzingis or a person like. Well, you can't get him, but that's the only person. Cat Porzingis, someone like that.
But
you can't. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No.
I wanted to bring up because 5. I think you were talking about Shim. I'm sorry. I'm all off. Fucked up.
Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
LSU's pissed me off, and I got to deal with this shit. So what I was saying though was like back to that video when I think he talked about playing with space, right, and like being able to operate. And if he liked his matchup, he wouldn't turn and be into like 2 other dudes, right? Like pause. So like what I'm saying is that he could score or he could pass, right? Playing through him, getting the big fella a touch. But tonight, that's why I wanted to bring that up, 5. Like tonight, he looked frustrated again. He looked like he was out of the game plan. He did not look interested. And when you look disinterested, guess what? He ain't going to rebound. And I know anybody else ain't going to rebound. So that's why you just continuously keep having the same problem.
Justin, you said Jonas looked like he was out of the game plan. You know who else is out of the game plan?
Yeah, who?
Zion. Like, bro, Zion had 1 attempt. 40 minutes, let's say like 40 minutes of real time, but like 15 to 16 minutes of game time. He had one attempt.
And I think his second attempt came from like a fucking steal. No, it was like a rebound or something.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
Whose fault is that then? Who you blaming on
But
that?
Justin, you ever watch a Warriors game and Curry only got one shot in the first quarter? Ever?
No. Listen, this is the thing. Like, then Zion ends the half with like 15 or 14, some shit like that, and he missed like 4 or 5 free throws. Like, if you know you have a guy like that, why don't you start the game off with him? Everybody else gets to the back of the bus.
That's not supposed to be a problem.
Fam.
Like,
Fam. In the third quarter, when the Hawks went on their run, right? They passing the ball to Will. Will got the ball. Will killing these motherfuckers. Nothing they can do with Will. 2-3 possessions in a row.
That's the
left
Will.
hand, left
The
hand,
next
left hand.
2-3 possessions. Herb, corner 3. Brandon, wild shot. Right? Then Brandon goes out, he makes him a tough mid-range shot. But on the other end, the Hawks knocking down threes. Trey hitting 3. They starting to come alive. The Pelicans' best defense is they have an unstoppable dude who demands a lot of attention on offense. Well, 2 dudes who demand a lot of attention on offense. Yep. Brandon demands attention as well. But I'm saying at least you can get these guys into the bonus. Maybe you get a DeJounte Murray off the floor if you jump into the contact on the up fake. Maybe you get Capella, into foul trouble if you drive into his fucking chest and elbow him and pick up a call or something. They're just playing. It's some random guy throwing the ball. It's a bad brand of basketball. It's bad.
Or Chaz, or maybe if you dump it into the big guy,
right?
Maybe you do that. Maybe that's a really easy way to collapse the defense, right? And I don't want to belabor the point. Then Justin, I know you're trying to kick it to something else, and I'll shut up. But
we're 40 minutes, so there's nothing to kick.
I just sit here. Look, I'm a guy who follows. I'm a stats guy, right? And I follow. Valanciunas has like 7 or 8 blocks over the last week, right? 7 days, and I'm talking about 7 days, right? Maybe it's 6, maybe it's 7, whatever. You go look over his career. I don't know if there's a week in his career where he has that many blocks. You're talking about a guy engaging defensively at that point, right? That's help side stuff. That's guarding your man. I mean, there's just a lot of things that go into that. It just gets frustrating, right? Because you've got mismatched pieces, okay? And it's time the team reflects. It's time to just match it up, right? Just build something that fits together. I feel like
I don't know if I don't
that's
know.
Not a pause moment. I mean, seriously, that's literally like, okay, just go ahead. That's crazy.
That was kind of crazy, but he was frustrated. I kind of had to let him go.
Yeah, it's a serious show.
Yo, it was a pie. I think after game 1 and game 2, where I said, the Pelicans now have film they can break down and go back to when things aren't working and see what they did that was successful. And if you look at those first 2 games, I believe I think the first 2 games, Jonas was he was quite a bit involved. Maybe not scoring points, but at least he got a touch. He could decide where the ball went. He could be the conduit to get somebody else a look. And to Ross, the point Ross just made, even if you throw the ball into Jonas is not a big, like, he's not a Julius Randle where you give him the ball and it's gonna be a shot. Jonas can survey the defense. He's gonna make the proper pass. He's gonna make a smart decision because he's a basketball player. Like, I'm talking international basketball. I'm talking about, the NBA. Like, this guy's a hooper for real. Like, he's never missed. Every year he's been in the NBA, he's played FIBA. You don't get that kind of longevity or that kind of like that kind of game with just being one dimensional. And it could be so simple. You could literally just throw the ball into them. You could run somebody off the backside. They could rub off the screen. Like, that was crazy. It's so many different ways. It's so many different ways that you could initiate or create offense just from simply making a pass into him.
The crazy thing, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say 5. I'm so like
Well,
I was gonna bring up the point when 5 said I've never seen us like slip a screen for a layup. I had never seen us get the ball in a JV. He takes a couple dribbles, doesn't have anything, gets it back out. Matt Ryan then he reposts. Matt Ryan then feeds it back to him. They get guard to guard action, and JV takes one dribble power move layup.
Bruh, the
Matt Ryan got
repost.
benched tonight. We barely saw Matt Ryan after
Barely
his
saw him.
performance.
Career
We barely
night.
saw him.
Dog, the repost is something I've never seen in New Orleans Pelicans basketball history ever since if he passed the ball out, he's never getting that shit back. They allowed that man to repost, get better.
Bro, Matt Ryan just like literally gave it back to him. Didn't even take a dribble, didn't even look at anything. He just literally gave it right back to him. And that's the IQ shit we're talking about. Like,
I didn't know we could do that. I didn't know that was an option.
It's crazy, bro. Like, and to me, I don't think this was a bad loss, personally. I know it might sound like it. I think I'm happy you're seeing some of these things early, is what I'm saying. A lot because the problems that we all suspect in the offseason are the same problems now. I'm just glad that there isn't any like, oh, when all this team needs to do is get healthy. It's like, nah, look, motherfucker missed 2-3 games, and y'all chemistry disrupted. That means you never had any. And you're not going, y'all don't particularly look good when you're all healthy. So it's like, let's stop playing these games. The things that Brandon isn't going to magically shoot the ball better. You know what I'm saying? I think he hit a 3 tonight, probably like 1 for 3, maybe 1 for 4. Hit a 3 tonight.
1 for 3.
Yeah, 1 for 3. Herb isn't going to magically shoot the ball better. You know what I'm saying? He's doing okay right now, but he isn't going to magically shoot the ball better. They aren't going to become these incredible rebounders. It's like, at a certain point, you have to accept things for what they are and just pivot and move the fuck on. The Warriors knew David Lee was getting killed in the finals. What they did, Dave, you got to come off the bench, brother. All-star David Lee, the bad motherfucker in his day. David Lee, I'm sorry, it ain't going to work. Next year, David Lee was playing for the Spurs. Then right now, it just ain't going to work, bro. It ain't.
Well, I just looked at the schedule. I thought tonight was actually pretty important considering now you're going to Denver, to Minnesota, to Houston, then a back-to-back against Dallas, and then Denver, and then Minnesota, and then a back-to-back against Sacramento. Like that stretch right there is really, really tough. So I thought tonight was it was important, but it's just disappointing. I don't know if anyone else has any other thoughts. Go ahead.
Can you say that again? What are the next 3? What are the next 2, 3? I'm sorry.
At Denver, at Minnesota, at Houston, and then a home.
The 3 with the next 3 are on the road.
Houston.
Yeah,
yes.
next 3 on the road.
Okay.
Justin, you said something. You said that this was a loss. Like you didn't consider this a bad loss, right?
I do think it's a bad.
Me.
All
right.
I
thought this was a bad loss.
Which one is worse, this loss or the Golden State one?
This one.
This one.
Golden State.
All right.
This one easy.
And all right.
To me, it's Golden State.
All right. Now I'll disagree with you that it's not the Golden State loss. This is the worst loss. One, because you win against a team in Golden State where they have won championships. They know how to play basketball. They know exactly who they are. I think the best basketball the Pelicans played was in the first half of that game.
Against the Warriors?
Against the Warriors. I believe that that's been the best basketball that they played in that first half. With Zion, no Brandon, Hawkins, Matt Ryan. I believe that first half was the best basketball they had played. We can argue about that. I thought the way they played allowed them to be free in I think it was like a 2-point game at half. Now the wheels fell off in the third quarter. Cool. But I think the way they played then allowed them to win the game in OKC when they started out shits. Because you saw a process that worked in the first half of that game. You implemented it in OKC, and you got great shots. You just missed them. But then the tide turned in the second half, and you were able to win. And that kind of proved the point of like, if we would have played like that against Golden State, we might have still lost, but it would have been a different result. You would have been like, okay, cool.
Right.
This loss, you played nowhere near that style. You didn't see it. So that's why I feel like this loss is way worse than the Golden State loss because you weren't even yourself when you lost. You went out like you lost on some other stuff. You played a different way.
Damn.
Yeah. The reason I say it's not a bad loss because I want to see this broken up. That I think again you have to use the superior talent on the floor, but I've seen enough. Enough.
I mean, I know you've, but wait, 5 to your point, because not only do they play the same, they played in the first half against Golden State and then the same against OKC. They played the same against Detroit, and I know they were missing both Zion and Brandon, but still those shots were there. The ball was moving, it was going side to side. They were playing fast, they were playing with pace, they were
inside out
basketball inside out. They were going to JV. Like they were playing a consistent style of basketball. You are completely 100% right. And tonight was not even close.
I think Zion wants to be a part of that.
Yes. You can see
Zion wants
Why
to
wouldn't
be
you? Everybody would, man. Like, look at Matt Ryan.
That's the conversation we need to be having, fellas. That's the conversation we need to be having.
That's a really good one.
Some good points, guys.
Yo, hey, look, you heard AD and Joe the Pistons game. Joe,
no, we couldn't hear because Bally's,
Oh yeah, like man, the big man with the finish. And then you hear AD. See, Joe, look how much space Jonas has, Joe. See, the big man, he never gets that much space, Joe. You've never seen Jonas Valanciunas. Look at these guys. But look, you got Matt Ryan here. You got Jordan Hawkins here. You got to get
a little deeper, Chaz. You got to get a little more like.
Wait,
Lito.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yo, Lito, this is bullshit the way y'all treat Ross compared to me. I mean, seriously, y'all would have fucking left the show. Let's hear from our sponsors over there at DraftKings Sportsbook. NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball's back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is celebrating with an unbeatable offer. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for throwing down $5 on the NBA. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You'll start the season with an instant dub. Basketball's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BOOT. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOT. The crown is yours. Like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead, Lito.
I wanted to hear 5 finish that point, though, because I think he was about to
finish your point.
I think he's about to land his plane somewhere.
Yeah, thank you. Dude. Justin, you want to be Jerome or you want to be Justin? Which
Jerome? You mean Jermaine?
One of the Jermaine, you want to be Justin?
Well, no, I just think it's kind of bullshit. Y'all give Ross this pass, Lito gets a pass. Like, Chaz is giving me a look every other minute. I mean,
Justin, you acting like the Pelicans offense tonight. Yeah, dog, who are you?
Nah, it's just some bullshit. It's some bullshit.
Hey, look, stop trying to project that shit on me, Nat. Like, take your
5, lay the plane.
Leave mine alone, dog. Leave mine alone.
I ain't landing shit, man. Get your ass out of here. Go home.
Hey, shout out to Jordan Hawkins, man. Shout out to Jordan Hawkins, man.
See y'all Monday night against Denver.